I've done a little video here on general tap maintenance. Well, that's going to include the tap washers and the tap O-rings. Firstly, using a flat bladed screwdriver, we need to pop the cover off the tap handle so we can access the top nut. Now, using a box spanner or pliers will do. We undo the nut, of course, in an anti-clockwise direction. Now, once the nut is off, we can remove the handle. Underneath the handle is in this case, a plastic handle drive nut. We remove the drive nut. And now we have access to the shroud. Now the shroud comes off in the same way. Unscrew it in an anti-clockwise direction. Okay, off comes the shroud. And underneath is the exposed spindle. We can see the spindle exposed. Next, we want to remove the spindle itself. So we're going to use a spanner. You could use a box spanner. Put the spanner on the hexagon part of the spindle and remove in an anti-clockwise direction, and the spindle will be removed. Now that we have the tap spindle removed, there are three parts that need to be serviced. The first thing is the washer. This is a tap washer here. This is a cheap and nasty one. We're going to put a better one in there later. I don't recommend those plastic ones. Second part to be serviced is the body washer. It's normally a fibre washer, and it seals the spindle to the combination of the tap. This is the spindle here. This brass bit is the spindle. The third part is the rubber O-rings that live on the spindle. So if we undo the shroud here on the spindle, you'll see two rubber O-rings. Sometimes there's one, but in this one there's two. And now we're going to remove these old rubber O-rings. I do it with pliers, but you could do it with a hook. But pliers will do to remove these rubber O-rings. Now, if the rubber O-rings were perished, broken or compromised in any way, the water would leak out here. If the body washer is broken, this is the body washer, water will leak out here. And if the tap washer is broken, here's the tap washer, the tap itself will leak. So when servicing a tap, you should always replace these three parts. The tap washer itself, the body washer, and the rubber O-rings on the spindle. All these should be changed. Now you can see all the parts that we are going to service from left to right. Now we're going to grease these parts with tap lubricant or tap grease so that they operate smoothly. Now that we have the spindle apart, we're going to remove these rubber O-rings here. The way I like to do it is with a pair of needle nose pliers. So watch while I pinch up here on the rubber O-ring with the pliers, and I get in there and I hook it in and I pull it off. It doesn't matter where I break it because we're going to replace them anyway. Okay, so we're now about to put the new rubber O-ring onto the spindle shaft. It's quite easy to just get it on there. It stretches on there quite easily, so we just stretch it on like this. And using the pliers, we do what we did before with the other one. We pull it off. Doesn't matter whether we break it off. And there it is removed. And we pop that second one on there. There are two brand new rubber O-rings there. And push it into its groove nicely. There you go. Next we're going to run this T-tool through the spindle housing here. And it'll clean up the thread inside. You could use a tap, as in a tap and die, but we're going to run that T-tool through there, and it cleans it up to make the whole tap operate smoothly. Now if you've got any build-up of gunk on this thread here, we just give it a quick wire brush and that'll clean that thread up nicely, also to make the tap operate smoothly. We're going to put some tap lubricant or tap grease on some of these parts now. So you can be quite liberal here. So put a bit of grease on there, a bit of tap lubricant, and then just smooth it around with your fingers, and also put some on the rubber O-rings. And put it all over there because it's going to be the lubricant. And now screw the spindle back into the spindle housing. Nice. And then screw that in like that. That's very good. Next we need a new body washer. It's quite straightforward. Just get the new body washer and it slips straight over the thread there like that. Very straightforward. Fibre washer. And then finally we're going to put in our new tap seat. I like these brass ones with the rubber O-ring built into the end of them. They're high quality. They're very good. I don't like those rubbishy plastic ones. But take my word, the brass one is well worth the extra money. I know I've gone on about it a bit, but don't go near these. This is just cheap and nasty. Do yourself a favour and stick with these solid brass ones here. I love these solid brass ones. As you can see, there's an O-ring seal on the front here. Very good. Okay, we can put it all together now. So there's the new tap washer going in there, and there's the unit, the spindle, ready to go into the combination of the tap. A fully serviced spindle. Thank you very much for watching.